Part 2. I wasn't going to do a part 2, but I'm feeling pretty okay right now. And then after I made that post, which you guys, I just finished uploading, just a calmness came over me. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. If you have neurological Lyme, or you've had, my brain just went dumb, seizures, any form of seizures, or you've had many strokes, and have Lyme or co-infections, you'll understand what I'm getting at. When it messes with your neurological symptoms, you start acting, thinking, and being a different person. It's like certain cancer patients who have brain tumors. They start, either it messes with things that they'll either become from a sinner to a saint, or a saint to speaking things that you would never have heard out of their mouth. And I want to tell you a little story on this. And if Mike Fives, as you all know, was on YouTube ever again questioning him, he'll admit to it. I used to FaceTime him. And usually during the daytime, that's, you do everything you possibly can and push through. But in the afternoon, if you have any form of neurological Lyme, seizures, or mini strokes that's messed with everything, that's when your brain starts getting tired, starts shutting down. And the neurological part would have you acting, thinking, and saying things you really don't do during the day. Like cursing like a sailor, things like that. And I had started noticing that I was doing that at nighttime. Started really speaking not proper. Not godly, I'll put it like that. I was smoking cigarettes heavily. I told you guys like 6 months ago I started smoking again after being non-smoker for so long and everything. And I was still driving a car, but only on emergencies, and also when I had to go to the doctors. And pretty much that was it. I stopped back in April when I ended up having the hemiplegic seizure and headache due to, because of that, even though I had to drive myself to the hospital, the only person that knew what was going on at the time was Jen from This Is the Day, because I was online as it was happening, and that's why I went to the hospital. And I had stopped doing driving altogether, and I'd have to look back when I had that hemiplegic migraine that caused a seizure and paralyzed me, because I was driving, but then when that started, it was like, what happens if this happens while I'm driving? And at that time, I was on my medications. I was able to be more clear and drive when I was medicated. But once that happened, I stopped driving. But I'm getting off track. But the neurological Lyme and the seizures and the mini strokes mess with your neurological thinking and speaking and your actions, and it's like switch up. You're 1 minute this person, next minute you're somebody else. And I had noticed that was happening at nighttime because, like I said, I used to FaceTime Mike Fives all the time, and I knew my brain was shutting down because I started haywiring, talking not right. And then it started happening during the daytime. And I knew it when my brain was not feeling right. I noticed I started speaking like a sailor during the daytime too. I mean, yes, we all say a few bad words. Okay, that's fine. But this was speaking like a sailor. So I noticed I was doing that. And I don't know what point I'm getting to on that, but that was in March. And as you guys, if you've followed along with my journey, you know about what really got me changed was when I was diagnosed with the masses, and I need to do treatment for the masses back in, I think it was March, guys. Yeah, it was March, March or the 1st of April. Then my insurance got canceled, and everything just seemed to be falling apart. Which I'm not saying it's not falling apart now, but, it's better. And then, I stopped FaceTiming people and everything. Now, yes, I do FaceTime Jamie. I FaceTime all you ladies. You're who I go to. You're who I depend on. Well, Bill too. I'm sorry, Bill, but you talking it too. But we have we don't judge others. We pray for others, and we walk in faith. Now, I've always been a person that believed in God, used to walk with God, talk with God, all of that. When I got sick, there's probably many that would admit to this. You pretty much turn from God. You don't love me, God, otherwise you wouldn't do this. And you turn from God. You still love Him. You still pray and believe God, and believe He is the only person that can get you to where you need to be, which is heaven. But I changed when I got sick. But back in March, I'm pretty sure it was March when I told you guys about the masses in my ovaries and uterus. I woke up one morning, it's like it hit me like a brick wall, or like I got hit by a car. And I know a lot of you people who are watching since March, how my whole persona has changed. Yes, we slip up and say a few words, bad words, okay? But if you've noticed and followed my journey, how my whole journey has changed. Not for better of health, but better as spiritual. And it took the masses and knowing I'm having to do treatment to get me back to what I used to be. And it was like I woke up one morning, and I apologize if this will be long, I don't know. I just want to get it out so everybody can understand you can change drastically. It could take something so small to change you from one way to spiritually, good or bad, however. And it's like I woke up one morning and it was like a tug. It's like, you know you still believe in God. You know He's the only one that'll get you where you need to go. He's the only one that can help you, walk with you, give you faith, and help you along this painful journey. This is back in April when I lost my insurance. And it was like the crap's hitting the fan. I was just ready to give up. Ready to die. Either He take me, or I'm going to take myself. One of the two. And it was like my heartstrings were being pulled. It's like, you believe, you have faith, you've not turned from me, but yet you are not walking the pathway that you were. And it was like an overwhelming feeling of, I know I'm not going to have relief from it, full on, symptom-free, disease-free. But yet, I will be able to handle it better in having faith again like I had. And at that moment, it was like an overwhelming feeling of, I'm doing right. I mean, yes, God understood that with the neurological issues and the seizures and everything that I have that messes up with my brain, I'm going to slip. And it's not physically my fault. It's what has neurologically and the seizures and everything that gets me to say or do things I shouldn't do. Mostly speak the way I shouldn't. And now yes, we slip up and say a few words every now and then, but it's like that part of no matter how drained my brain is or how malfunctioning at the moment it's getting and shutting down, it's like it's a barrier to not step over and be that cussing like a sailor when your brain is exhausted and physically and mentally tired. And I noticed that. Well, that was the first thing I noticed. And then it was like, and then I woke up in the morning and it's like, yeah, I can't be who I was. I can't do what I used to do. But look at this glory. Look at the beauty. He's everywhere. I just have decided to block Him out. And I need to bring Him back. Bring him back into me, where I can believe and have faith and have understanding that I can get through this. No matter what, I can get through this. And as you guys, if you follow, and I know Jen, and I know Jamie, and Michelle, and Bill Thompson, Teresa, you all will probably agree, you've noticed. But as a person, I never talked about God on my videos. If you've watched me almost 2 years, I always watched my language, but I did it on the times when my brain really wasn't fried and messing up. But I still slipped. I still slip. But that was nothing. That was like 0.1 times less than the million I use when it goes malfunctioning. And I used to think bad. I used to judge. I'm not going to lie. I used to judge vloggers. None of you guys. I'm just speaking in a whole of certain. I used to judge certain vloggers going, really? This is like, this isn't a vlog about your life. This is a pity trip. Or, I judged. And that's where I went wrong, because each journey is different. It may look like a pity act to when I thought that way, but in a way that was their way of getting it out, not because they wanted you pity, but it may have sounded like it, but it wasn't, and they didn't realize how they were speaking it. And I know we all have whoever has the neurological issues deals like you have a tumor that malfunctions how you think and speak and act. But it's like slowly, little by little, baby steps. It's like my eyes are getting more and more opened to understanding without God, I can't exist or be saved or have enlightenment or be more humble or be able to pray for others wholeheartedly. And I'm nowhere near perfect. Oh, by no means. But I have noticed in the past 2.5, 3 months how a drastic change from just something so simple as a bad diagnosis can completely bring you back into reality of this is the only way you're going to get through this. And like I said on my previous, I'm a vessel. It may be a painful vessel. It may be a painful, hellish journey I have to go through. But maybe this of what I'm going through, I have to go through to be able to come back to the faith and the God and the Word and the prophecy of this is how you get from here to heaven. Because heaven is not on earth. Even though, you know, people say that, it's not. I love the beauty of what God has created. And one day it will all be gone. We will no longer be here. But I am going to enjoy the beauty from however form of the way my illness will allow me to enjoy it. I am going to enjoy it. And it's sad that it took a diagnosis so dire and so severe to come back to God. If that makes any sense. You can walk with, you could say you believe in God all the time, but sometimes you're really not walking with Him. And it takes certain things of loss of friends, a bad diagnosis, a death, a wreck, or something to bring you back to where you need to be, square one, walking with faith. And that's just how I feel. And like I said, you know, he can verify it. I was taught like a sailor. And yes, I smoked. And it went from 2 packs to a pack to a pack and a half to a half a pack to now it's an occasional. And that's just in 2.5, 3 months. How Ever since he turned his channel off, I have completely did a 360. And with God, God is the 360, is the reason why I did a 360. I'm not blaming nobody for why I was that way, but it took a loss of a friendship and the understanding of this has mentally and physically screwed your brain where you are speaking the way you're not supposed to be speaking, thinking and acting not the way you're supposed to be acting. And then it took the friends who also are walking with God to help me walk the path I need to walk. I'm nowhere near the path I need to walk, but I can see the pathway. I'm just still trying to get through the jungle to get to it. And it's not a quick, it's not an easy job to get from sliding so far away. Even though you still believe and have faith, it's so hard to get back to where you were. And it takes, for me, it took a bad diagnosis, and it took a loss of a friend, and then finding friends who helped me get back on my journey with God. And like I said, I'm nowhere near that path. I can see it, but I'm going through a lot of brush and swampland to get to it. But while I'm going through that swampland and mud, I am learning. I am realizing faith in the word of prayer and blessings that the 3 ladies last weekend, the young lady today, it's not the prayer I asked for, but it's showing me I am here. I'm not going to give you what you want yet, but I am helping you. I am showing you I am here. When you get up in the morning and you're in pain, I'm there. And I have to have faith that he will still be there till I get through the mud and get back on the pathway. And I'm not going to deny he will be there. And even when I get back to where I need to be, does not mean I'm not going to swerve off the road. But I'm going to have him help me get back to where I need to be. And I'm going to have my friends, Jen, Bill, Jamie, Jessica, Charity, Rosie, Marcia. I'm going to have you ladies and gentlemen, Bill, bring me back into, as I will say, reality. Because when I slide and go on this bunny trail, I think wrong, I speak wrong, I act wrong. I am not being godly. And I have you ladies and Bill to thank for that, to bring me back and give me hope and give me faith. And now it's a good morning, God bless you. I say prayers to you all. I say prayers on here. I speak of God, but I'm not shoving it down your throat. None of us should. Because I don't care if you're a non-believer, a Satanist, sadist, pagan, whatever you are, that's your choice. But that's your journey to choose to go straight and go the right path. But unfortunately, my journey in the past 2 years, fixing to be 2 years I've been vlogging, my path is now including God. And the realization of how I was 3-4 months ago to how I am now, and how much God has stepped in and God is there to help me and not to turn away again. But that's my part 2. So God bless you all. Hope you have a beautiful afternoon, because I have no clue what. It's 4:30 here. So love you. Have a good day. Prayers to you all. Talk to you tomorrow.